I think we take a lot of America for granted and what makes us set apart and unique. Tell me about the Constitution or the Declaration. What are the things in that you find unique, that are different?
Well, you know, Kevin, every single time I go into elementary, middle or public high school, I explain to the students that American exceptionalism began with the Constitution, and that the Constitution, the United States Constitution, is the exception to the rule. Every single time any other government, any other place has ever tried to implement a similar constitution, it has always laid out the powers of the government and the limits of the individual. And the United States Constitution does precisely the opposite. It sets out the powers of the individual and the limits of the government. And that's where American exceptionalism began. What makes America unique is this. It's our values, it's our virtues, it's individualism, not collectivism, like we were saying, patriotism, not relativism, God, not government, faith, not secularism. It's e pluribus unum, not radical multiculturalism. It's equality, but equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. These are the things that have made America different and that have catapulted us to the pinnacle nation on this earth.
Well, now, as you talk, you sound like someone who's been a part of what we grew up believing, which was the great melting pot, that you come to America and we bring the diverse cultures together, but we blend them together and we're one America. It doesn't seem like we're seeing that today. It seems like instead we're siloing people and they're staying in their individual cultures, even if they move to the United States.
You're right, Kevin. Unfortunately, it is changing. When I was growing up, the United States of America was always known as being a place when somebody immigrated on day one, they immediately became an American, that Americans were able to integrate their people more quickly than any other country. And I still think, even though that's changing, relatively speaking, it still remains far better than Germany or England or Australia, where what you were saying is even more pronounced, where we do see those kind of segregated communities. Look, it's really important that we get people coming to the United States of America that love this country, that want to be a part of this country. Look at me. I came to make, not take, to give, not receive, to join the place, not complain about it or change it. And they're the kind of people that we need if we are going to make sure that this is an American century and that this remains the exceptional nation on the earth.
Yes, I am afraid that people are losing sight of how different, unique, and exceptional our country is. I remember when I grew up, it was the 1960s. And in the 1960s, we had radical social movements that were taking place, and they were serious. And I remember one individual, well, there was the Black Panthers, and the one individual in the Black Panthers who was very famous was a guy named Eldridge Cleaver. And he stood up with his fist and he proclaimed, you know, how evil America was, how racist it was. And then he committed a crime, went to prison. When he was released from prison, he went to Cuba. I met him after he got back from Cuba. And he was a completely changed man. He realized what a great system America had. And instead of looking for what was wrong with it, he should have been looking for what was right with it and build on it. So that was a homegrown American that had to be taken outside the country to see what the difference is. What I fear now is we're bringing in a whole batch of immigrants that never get the opportunity to learn about the greatness of America. And the immigrants are only being told how bad we are and what's wrong with it because immigration has been politicized.